Okay, so you'll have 3 short videos on this time, and so YouTube surely wouldn't mind that. So x squared is equal to 6x, that's the next one. The instructions are solve by factoring. All right, so again, the first thing you're going to do, if you're going to solve by factoring, you have to get it equal to 0 because it only works if you have something times something equal to 0. For instance, if I say, hey, I'm thinking of 2 numbers, the product of those 2 numbers is 20. It could be a million different things. I could be thinking of, oh, okay, I got it. I'm thinking of 2 numbers. The product of those 2 numbers is equal to 20. You want to guess what they are? Yeah, I'm going to just say whatever you guess, you were wrong. Because the 2 numbers I was thinking of were 7 and 20 over 7. Yeah, so get that. So anyway, it's impossible to predict. If you got 2 numbers, if you got 2 numbers multiplied together to give you 20, there's no way you can predict what either the numbers are. But if the 2 numbers multiplied together give you 0, then you know one of them has to be 0. So always get it equal to 0 first. So go x squared minus 6x equals 0. Subtract 6x from both sides like this and factor this. The first thing we told you when factoring is, first thing you look for something you can factor out of everything, all right? So you can factor out of x here. There's a common factor of x between these two, so factor into x times x minus 6, all right? So if x times x minus 6 equals 0, that means, since 2 numbers are multiplied together to give you 0, the only way that can be true, if one of those have to be 0, x is equal to 0, or x minus 6 equals 0, all right? So here's one answer, x is equal to 0, or add 6 to both sides, x is equal to 6. Solution set is 0, 6. And again, just for review's sake, what if we were going to try to graph this thing? What do you think would be true? Well, we know it's going to hit the x-axis at 0 and at 6. Those 2 spots are going to be on the graph because those are 2 solutions. Obviously, this is positive, so it's opening upward. The vertex would be down here somewhere. The axis of symmetry would be halfway in between there, and so forth. All right? Solving by factoring, though. Let's see if we can factor this. So multiply 2 numbers together. It's going to be x times x to give you x squared. Multiply 2 numbers together to give you positive 64. That means the signs have to be the same. And you're going to add them to give you a negative 16. That means both signs are negative. All right? One more time. If they're going to multiply to give you a positive 64, the signs have to be the same. If you multiply, you're going to add them together to give you a negative 16, they must both be negative. So that's how you figure out what the signs are. Do that first before you just start guessing number. All right, so now you're looking for 2 numbers to multiply to give you 64. So in your head or on paper, you're doing this. I'm looking for these numbers, like 3 won't go, 4 goes, 16 times 4, 5 won't work, 6 won't go, 7 won't go, 8 times 8. 9, okay, so that's as far as you need to go. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for numbers that multiply to give you 64, and since the signs are the same, they're both negative, you add together to give you 16. Which of those add together to give you 16? Right. The only ones that will add to give you 16 are 8 and 8, and so it's x minus 8 times x minus 8. Now some of these, sometimes you'll put them up there and you'll immediately know the answer, but some of them are more complicated, so what I'm trying to get you to do is go systematically. Figure out the signs first, and then figure out what the possibilities are and see which ones satisfy the condition. All right, so x minus 8 equals 0, or x minus 8 equals 0. So both of them are exactly the same, right? So guess what? X equal 8 or x equal 8. So, moral of the story is there's only one answer to this. It's called a double root, okay? It appears twice, so x is equal to 8, but you don't put it twice, you just got one answer. So, because the original question that you were trying to answer was, what are all the numbers in the whole world that you could put in for x to make this a true statement? And the answer is 8. That's the only number in the whole world you can put in, make this a true statement, all right? What would it look like on the graph? Now, here's what a double root looks like to you on the graph. 8 is going to be on the x-axis over here, and because it's a double root, that means it's going to end up being the vertex. So it means it's going to come down here like this and go back up there like that. You know it opens upward since that's positive. And so that's where it's going to be. That's what a double root would look like to you, okay? And so here's the homework. So let me get to this here so I don't go too long on that. So there's a few easy problems if you're good at factoring. So factor them, first thing you do is set them equal to 0, factoring, solve each one of them, and that's going to be your solutions. But again, check each one of those on your phone. You've got the app now. Put in y1 equals x squared minus 16x plus 64, and see that. And if it comes out like this, then you know you're right. Then that's your answer right there. All right. Put this one in, and once you get it equal to 0, solve that. Look at the graph, and if you see it come out like this, then you know you're on the right track. Okay. By the way, don't forget, if you ever come out with something on your graph that looks like this, and I'm sure there will be some on there, then the answer is the empty set. There's no solution, okay? If it never hits the x-axis, there's no solution. All right, so 4 through 7, 14 through 19, let me get you those, picture of those, and you'll be set. Let's see what page I'm on. Don't tell me, 303. 303 is right there. All right, so there's the bottom of page 303. Can't see that. All right, like that maybe, yep. 304. I need to get all those focused in. Maybe so, huh? Surely you can read that. All right, so hit me a comment if you have questions or comments, or if there's anything on here that you can't read or don't understand or whatever. I usually can, I check if you'll send me, like you turn something in, but you have a comment along with it and all that. I usually read those comments, so feel free. Good luck.